Hey everyone, welcome to Harry Potter Circle of Fate. This is the Act 2 Vlog 4. Um, that was fun. Sorry, choking up over here. No, I like that this episode has got a lot more comedy in it because I know
Mm.
some of the people that watch have expressed the past few episodes being very, very intense.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes when everything is intense all the time, it's kind of hard to watch. But this
Yep.
one, I think, breaks that up very well. And I think
Yep.
people
Yeah.
will really
Mhm.
enjoy this episode.
I think to be fair, your most of Act One was very light.
Yes, yes,
Most
it
of Act One
was.
Yeah.
is very light, and then the beginning of Act Two, just because the war was just front loaded with a lot of, you know, intense stuff. Things will be getting intense again, but probably more near the end of the next session. So
Perfect.
I wanted
But
to apologize to Brandon.
four,
That 8 just came the way it was. I'm sorry for it.
he was the best. He was the absolute best. You need to
Bring him
audition your
back.
next character for that one.
Yes, definitely.
He was so good. So quickly, since I do have to leave, it was really fun getting to play Luke a little bit more. I can't wait to explore him.
I love him.
He's kind of
He's great.
he's kind of that troubled kid that means well, but like his anger gets the best of him. I don't know if anybody could tell yet. He kind of hates being compared to his father, and it happens constantly.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Like 5 people in this session have already compared him to his father every time, and he doesn't like that. He doesn't like hearing like, "Oh, this is what your father would have done," and that's like the thing that upsets him the most. So when McGonagall brought it up, it was like hearing about your father. He would have never done anything like this. That's when instantly anger happened, and then that's why Luke said what he said. He's not really a bad person. He doesn't really think that way, but he's kind of like Jordan's played with me in other campaigns, where he's kind of like
Yeah.
all my characters. Like once they're angry, they say things
They
they
say-
regret almost instantly.
They say some pretty mean stuff.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
they
always
get
my
angry.
character that gets it. So
Yes, yes.
I'll be curious to see if he shares that with Al, because I think Al's going to naturally like connect him to his father. So I'm curious if they'll reach a boiling point where Luke is just like, just stop doing that.
We'll
Yeah.
see, because it's already even you guys, all 3 of you have done it, and
I
all
don't
3 of
think
you have
Rocky
done it.
did though, and I thought she
You
was
s-
going to do it the most, but I don't think she has yet.
I swear she said you're as big as your father. I could be wrong. Could have been somebody else.
When he was like a baby, like a newborn, she said that he was
Maybe.
going to be a big like his dad. But she
Okay, I
hasn't,
can't
like-
remember.
Yeah, she didn't say it in this session whatsoever, and I really thought she was going to, but I just never did.
Yeah, but I know Al did it for sure, and Juan did it for sure, and then so did Chance,
Mhm.
so did McGonagall,
Gary.
so did his father or his grandfather, and like
I compared you to Levi. Fuck, I'm sorry.
it's okay. It's I think it's a natural thing to do. It's a natural thing to do. Like, oh, you're just like your father, and usually people would love to hear that, but since he has a different mentality, because if you notice, there was a few times Hark did it to Leia,
Yep.
and Leia was like, oh yeah, like just
Leia,
like him.
Leia loves it. Leia loves being
Uh-huh.
compared to her dad. She loves learning more about her dad, but Luke is the opposite. So
It hurts him a little bit more, and he's just. I really like Luke, and I can't wait to dive a little more into him because I have a lot planned.
He's so good. I love him.
I like. It was really hard playing 1-year-old Luke, but I liked it. I liked it a lot. Playing 13-year-old Luke is good, and his voice is going to get more and more a little crackly because he is going through puberty. The change, yes.
He's going to stop being so interested in books and being more interested in girls.
Or maybe not
Maybe.
girls.
Mhm.
Maybe not
boys.
girls.
Who knows?
He
Who
said he
knows?
did when Juan said you're gonna like girls. He was like, girls. Don't know if anybody caught that, but
Gross,
yeah,
dude.
I saw
Girls are
that.
gross.
girls are gross. And there's
Yeah,
just a
girls are gross.
reason for me to date
I want
AJ's
I want
character stuff.
the Luke Steven bromance. Yeah.
Yes,
Luke-
Luke Steven.
well,
But yeah.
yes. Well, I'm Luke and Steven is cool. I think that my intention was, and I kind of tried to start it. The intention is that I think Luke and James are gonna have a very deep friendship. That's the beginning of a
Yes.
very deep friendship. So I feel like that's going to be interesting, having Luke have some sort of connection with Harry Potter, or at least the Harry Potter circle.
Lore, yeah.
So
If anybody doesn't have any other questions for Luke specifically, I'm gonna head out. So,
Yeah, no,
Who's his
Yeah.
favorite?
Take care, Brandon.
who's his favorite?
Yeah.
Oh,
And why is it me?
Juan and Al and Aika and Chance.
Nobody likes me.
And then it's Rocks. He likes Rocks, but
Ayo.
I think he's
Okay,
just
I'm Leia's
interacted with
favorite.
the other ones more. Huh?
Yeah. Leia
Yeah.
likes me. That's
Leia
okay.
likes Rocks probably.
Yeah, Leia likes Rocks. Yeah, they're pretty much the same person. So
So how much did it hurt seeing Toby crying because he couldn't read?
Ugh. Guys, I don't know if you could tell from my voice, but I was really upset.
Yeah.
I was a little upset, to say the least.
What
It was,
can we find out, like, at the 20-year jump, what is the, like, how is Roxy able to go near Toby? Does he still have many, like, freakouts? Is it like they can be in the same room but you can't talk to him?
I think in that period of time, he will be able to. It sounds terrible. Be able to tolerate being in the same room as Roxana, but their relationship is just not going to be the same ever again. Because
I can't believe
it's
this.
sort of like, I don't want to give too many spoilers, but did anyone? How many of you have read the Hunger Games, like all 3 stories of the Hunger Games?
Oh yeah,
I have, yeah.
So
Peeta and Katniss.
yeah, so it's kind of like, I feel like Pete and Katniss, they end up resolving that over time. It's never the same, but it's resolved. And I think with Toby and Roxana, by the 20-year jump, they'll have a chance of resolving things. But it's they're when we get to the 20-year jump, he's still going to see her as, I have no idea who you are. Definitely does not know the significance of their friendship at all. So she's just an acquaintance.
She got it rough
They're
by
happy.
the end.
And what does it mean? What about the library?
Yeah, so the
Magical library.
That was awesome.
So the library means a lot of things, and I think if you've watched all of the campaigns, you're probably piecing together what the library means and probably what the Athenium campaign is going to be all about 2 campaigns from now, because we're going to be doing the Dragon Age campaign next, and then we're going to do the Athenium campaign. So I can't give too much away about that, but I probably will in the Discord chat. For those of you who are on the Discord chat, so I probably will start dropping some things. So
Join it, guys.
I was
It's great.
excited for that because, Hark, you told Brandon and I a little bit about it when we were visiting, so I was really excited to see that, and I just thought it was really neat. That scene in general was very fun.
I like how each of you kind of contributed to the library. So now that may affect what happens at 2 campaigns from now. The stories that you just submitted.
Morpheus and I, the campaign.
Morpheus and me. Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, it got
There's so much from this episode.
Yeah, no, because it got it's kind of funny because I really feel like Albion and Juan are gonna get a chance to have their happy ending, because it feels like they're kind of, getting closure somewhat. But I thought about this, and especially with the whole elephant in the room about what the effects of the Mass Avada Kedavra spell, Roxy ain't ever really gonna be quite the same. She's especially because I know you mentioned it wasn't just they tried and it never happened. She miscarried multiple times, and I've never gone through that, but I know women who have gone through that, and it's one of the most awful things for women to go through. To invest your hope into this, and then it doesn't pan out, and then well, parents in general who have had to go through that, it's really rough. So yeah, it's gonna have a toll on her.
Before I forget, speaking of things that got really real during this session, the one of the challenging scenes for me to go through was the scene with Augustus and Albion, and him promoting this new potion that they're coming up with. Because I think I've touched this before. If you were to ask me or offer me a potion 15 years ago, 20 years ago, that was able to cure my sexuality, I would have taken it in a heartbeat. 100%. Like, no question, I would have taken it in a heartbeat, paid however much money I could afford for it. Is that wrong? Hard to say. Because if I were to be perfectly honest, if such a thing did exist, and I would have taken such a thing, would I have been happier? Probably. Would I have had an easier life? Absolutely. There were a lot of girls, for example, that I really liked as friends and became really close with, that I could see falling in love with and having a very stable relationship and having, you know, a big family and not have to go through the headache that I had to go through for 5 years to trying to have children. I wouldn't have had to go through that. I wouldn't have had to, you know, have to divulge, you know, an exorbitant amount of money just to have a kid. So it's one of those things where it's a very uncomfortable situation, but when you really think about it, like, this is something that could help people. It might sound disgusting to a lot of people that, you know, you shouldn't want to change yourself. You know, is that wrong? I could play devil's advocate and say, well, tell that to transgender people who want to change themselves because they're not comfortable in their own skin. Is it wrong for them to try to change themselves? It's a tough issue.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, because it's not a choice. You're just born that way. And like, I think there are a lot of people out there who are like, I just want it gone. And it's really sad. It's you can understand why they would feel like they want to change themselves, and it's a really like weird subject.
It's a weird subject because I could turn around and respond to that by saying, well, some people are born blind. They were born that way. Some people were born deaf. They were born that way. If somebody made a magical potion that all of a sudden made them see or hear, is that morally bad? I mean, you know, so
it's like, it feels like it's got a lot of like factors that kind of go into it. So it's like I said, it's like one of those just weird topics where it's like it's hard to like, you know,
it's an uncomfortable topic, but
because you can kind of understand why people would feel that way. So it's like,
but I felt that if I was, again, seeing magic and potions in the real world, that's something that could happen, and it could be crazy lucrative. And I don't know. How do you feel about that, HA? Just out of curiosity.
I could probably take up the whole vlog, so I'll condense it. From a personal perspective, I totally get what you're saying, Hark. You know, as a gay man, sometimes we've all went through that, or that journey of accepting ourselves. And so early on, it would be really easy to just, you know, do that. And personally, when I came out, I had a relative that came out too, and we went totally different ways with it. Like, I come from a religious family, and he's going the route of, you know, embracing the religion, and I went the route of embracing who I felt I was, you know, at my core. I'm just personally glad that Albion has had some moments in the story that tipped him toward that other side of things, of being able to say no, like, you know, I'm gonna do me. Because I don't think early story Albion, he would have been on that, like, like, if this will help people, like, this could help me, like, this is a big painful mess that I hate being in, so let's just do it. So I'm personally glad he was on the other side of things that are more closer to my own experience with it. Even if it was at the loss of what I thought was going to be a mended relationship with him and Augustus.
We
Yeah.
all thought he was going to
It's,
be okay
you know, I'm
with
at
it,
peace
and then
with
we were
that.
like,
Yeah. And I don't think he's like, I think he's somewhere in the middle, but
He didn't like disown his
Yeah.
son, and he wasn't
Right.
like, you're going to hell. You know, he wasn't like that. He was more, are you sure you want to do this? Are you
Right.
sure that,
yeah.
you know, I don't think this is good for you, son.
from a player perspective, I hope it doesn't ruin Al's chances in the ministry, because like maybe this was the only opportunity he got and he turned it down. But I'm okay with it if that's the outcome of it, because I still feel like it fits true to Al's character, and I'll find another, path for him to explore.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like his growth has been like, especially this episode, starting to see him get into the starting to be a bit sly about things and lying about things. So
Yeah.
like it's good. I feel it's funny because I kind of like feel bad for you, because if I would like had to play in that situation, I would feel like really terrible, and I could see on your face like the things I was saying to you, like you was in there going like, I don't feel good about that. Like
It was a hard scene. Everything was difficult.
oh yeah, but like his growth has been so amazing, and it's like really really good to see him kind of come out of his shell and be like, I'm gay and that's okay.
Yeah.
No one can tell me that's not okay. I'm gonna marry my boyfriend. I'm gonna have lots of babies.
I was really proud of the sun analogy. I thought
Oh
long
my
and hard
God,
about
it
that
was
one.
That was so
So
sweet.
cute. It was so cute.
Does it change the hashtag though to plants need sun instead of plants need water?
Well, I mean,
I guess. I don't know.
I think it still stays plants need water because Finn's a fish. So, you know, you gotta
Yes.
keep that. You gotta keep that aesthetic.
But yeah, but I like the analogy. I like the analogy. My question to AJ is, because I don't know what you wanted in or saw during the time jump. Do you see Finn and Albion getting married?
I definitely see Albion now moving out of his dad's house somewhere on his own, and I think he would offer Finn the chance to stay there as well. I really think that's going to be on Finn. Al's not opposed to it, but right now, like within the 20-year jump, I don't think he would have proposed it, but I know you were subtly having Finn, like, during the ceremony, Finn grabbed his hand. So if it's on Finn's mind, Al is open to it.
Okay. Do you foresee Al desiring to have kids? Even if it's not biologically.
I think he would not want kids, actually.
He's already got a Luke.
He could be persuaded.
Yeah, he has a Luke.
really got
He has a
to-
Luke.
Oh, we have a Brandon.
Exactly. Hey, Brandon. I was
Yeah, I
wondering who
think
that
he would
big guy
say
was.
no.
I'm in the car, so I'm muted, so you guys don't hear a bunch of wind, but I'm listening to you
He's
guys.
in the Brandon car.
Brandon car.
It
it was gloss over that. But yeah, he
I feel like I had so many other questions. I can't remember them now.
there's so
A lot
much
happened
happened.
today.
Like it
I
was
have a
so-
question.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're able to answer it though. So you brought up Ronnick's character. I forget his name.
Vienno.
Not Vito. What is it?
Vienno.
Vienna.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Are we allowed to know if any of the Orion cast died during this war?
Yeah, you will
Or
find.
did they all make it? Or
As far as you know, they made it. I think that you guys would have been able to keep some connection with them. So they survived. They did survive the war. Yes, they did survive the war.
What did everyone think about my weird son? I love him.
You man.
I think he's great.
I hate him.
I love him. I think he's great. He's such a little shit.
So now we've
I love
got a mind reader. Well, two. Well, no. Wait, do you know legitimacy, Luke?
So-
Brendan?
I do have legitimacy as well.
I still really I really enjoyed him. Like as soon as you were like, there's a random kid and he's stealing food, I'm like, all right, I know who this kid is, and time to be Mama Bear Rocks. And I was like, he still surprised me though, because I had like an inkling of his personality, because yeah, I wrote down like basic points, but he was still like so much more of like a twerp than I thought he was gonna. He's like such a problem child, and I love him.
Yeah, he's totally gonna be a problem child. Yeah, like
yeah. And I'm like, I think it's so hilarious that Roxy's his adopted mom, because she like,
because you're an angel growing up as a kid.
oh no, and she's still like got that kind of fun part about her. Like she can't. Here's a problem. Roxy really does like kids, but she can't say no to kids. Like, that's why she spoils the twins rotten. And I imagine Ahmed gets away with a lot of shit. And I feel like sometimes Ayik is going to be the bad guy. Because you know, like how sometimes in households, like, oh, dad's the fun one and mom's the bad guy. No, not in this relationship. Ayik is going to be the responsible one. Yeah, because...
Did they send him to school? And if so, which school?
Oh, that's a good question, actually. Well, she would, from what I remember, she stays in Morocco.
So it's probably Ouagadougou.
He probably would attend Ouagadougou.
Ouagadougou, yeah. I think that Goldofsteretz is being rebuilt.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be fine in the 20-year jump, but by the time that Ahmed is ready to go to school, because you meet him at like 7 or 8 years old. So in 2 years' time, he's going to end up attending school, and it's probably going to be Ouagadougou.
I'm keen to see what he's like after the time skip, if he's still like kind of a shit kid, because he's going to be, what, like 26? He's going to be nearly 30. Like, is he still a bit wayward? Like, I'm really keen to see it. But yeah, I enjoyed him a lot. He was cool. I loved him. I love all the new generation. Like, all the kids are so great.
I don't think I would have ever considered this, but if Albion had taken the ministry role, would that have like put a big wedge between him and Finn, I assume?
Oh yeah.
I don't necessarily think so. I don't think Finn is like I think Finn doesn't like politicians, but I feel like he believes that Albion would be one of the rare good ones in his eyes. So I don't think it would.
I guess it was more because of the topic of like the project.
Oh, that specific one? Would Finn have would that made a wedge between you and Finn?
Yeah.
I think Finn would have been very disappointed if you were supporting that. He would probably be asking questions like, are you thinking about taking it yourself? Like, are you planning on using it yourself? Because if that's a thing, then yeah, you would totally have a conversation about that. But if you were doing it so that people knew it was available and had the choice on whether or not to use it or not use it, like just simply making it available for people so they can decide for themselves if it's right for them, I don't think he has a problem with that. So, yeah.
Gotcha.
I think that's the thing. I think part of in Augustus's defense, he's not like forcing any of this down anyone's throat. He's just saying people should know about this. Like, it would be a disservice to society if we didn't at least tell people this existed, because otherwise you're holding back on something that some people may really genuinely want and may genuinely believe that this will make their life easier. And you know, not making it available to the public seems like, I don't know, that's where Augustus is coming from,
because it really seemed like he wasn't like, you know, completely like, I hate gay people and you shouldn't be gay, you're going to hell. He wasn't like that. It seemed like he wasn't against it, but he was like, this is going to make your life so much harder.
Right.
Like,
see how many... Right. This is going to make your life so much harder. See how many people could be helped by this. See how many people suffer from depression. Like he brought up suicide, which is a real thing. Like, In his head,
Mhm.
we can save so many people's lives by making this available to the public, and I don't think he's wrong by
No,
saying that.
it's crazy
Right.
how high suicide rates are in like the LGBTQ
Right.
community. Like it's
You-
insane.
I mean, think of, again, this is a topic we can talk forever, but think of a situation where you have this husband and wife, they've been married, their marriage is falling apart, you know, they have kids, the guy is secretly gay, hasn't said anything to his wife, he finds out this exists, he takes it, maybe they're able to patch up their you know, marriage and save their family. Is that good or bad? That's
It's
the
hard to
question.
say.
It's hard to say. Is that good or
I'll
bad?
be honest,
Mhm.
it's hard to say.
Yeah. So many gray lines.
Mm.
How much is Roxy gonna hate Albion when she finds out Juan still knows the spell?
Boy. I think what makes it worse is in the hospital when they were like, when she said, promise me that everything we went through wasn't for nothing, and we did get rid of it. Because, like, and the reason, like, she was asking wasn't really more so for the fact that, yes, I just want to get rid of it. I want to get rid of it. It kind of is, but it's more so the fact that, like, she just lost her best friend and cost him what he loved the most. She wants to know that it wasn't for nothing. And it kind
Well,
of, yeah. I'm not like, saying it's right, but, like, that's what her mindset was.
Yeah, because Al could just make the argument that you guys talked before you wiped your memories, and you knew that he kept his memories. Like, because Al still has his, and she doesn't know that, but he could say that you talked about it and you were fine with it.
Yeah. It's more so the fact that he lied about, like, Juan knowing, which I think, in all honesty, guys, I do think one of them should know. It's, like, horrible to say, but one of them should know it, just in case. You never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because there's so few wizards and so many muggles. Like, it's horrible, but at the end of the day, if it's gonna prevent, like, what happened, I get it. And she just, like, wanted to wash her hands of the situation. And honestly, a lot of her just saying, like, tell me it wasn't all for nothing, like, we got rid of it, is her again trying to just wash her hands of the situation, like wash her hands of the monster she created. So yeah, she it's kind of interesting because I feel like the reason why Juan and Albion are gonna end up getting, you know, their happy ending is because a lot of their trauma happened during the war. A lot of that big trauma. And for Roxy, hers was right at the end. So, like, the war's over for them, but it's almost like it kind of keeps going for her, if that makes sense. Like she tried really, really hard to just be happy, and it at every turn, everything she wants doesn't pan out.
Yeah.
Like, kind of sad.
I think, though, you're married now, you have a child. It's not biologically yours, but it's still your child.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think you've patched things up with your sister. Who knows what's going on with Alec, but you've patched things up.
Yeah. Alex, another story.
Oh, I put it in the chat. Was Alec at the wedding?
Oh, yeah. He was.
Yes, he was. I wanted to have a scene with him, but I just didn't have time. I wanted to get through things very quickly, but he was there.
There was, like, so much happening that I didn't want to, like, hold it up. But yeah, like I was saying, I think it's like, it's more so the fact, it's not really that it's like, oh, you know, Ahmed doesn't count or anything, but it's more so the fact that it's not just they tried and she couldn't have them. It's the fact that she was carrying children and she lost them. Like, that's where the loss comes from.
Essentially, it's the killing curse is killing her children. Like,
yeah, it's like, it's a horrible bit of irony, and it's really sad.
Yeah.
Like, it just, like, especially, like, after the wedding, like, her and Aika were like, yeah, we want to have kids. And it's like,
yeah,
it sucks.
Yeah,
sucks, man.
There's a price that you pay for crazy powerful magic, and that's one of the prices.
So technically, Roxy does have many children. It's just they're all dead. It's very sad.
I was just curious. Whenever Juan told Al about him knowing the spell, I did have a brief moment where I was like, would Al trust Juan to tell him he kept the memory, even though it's not in his head? He has access to it. I'm just curious what you guys think Al should have done, like from an Al perspective. Because I thought about both. I almost went both ways, but I decided Al would keep it to himself.
I don't know. I think at this point, honesty, they all should tell each other, like, because like they all kind of, Alan Juan didn't really mess up, but like Roxy having all that memory wiped away made things so much harder to deal with. Now Al is like, I gotta keep Juan's secret. I gotta help try to test it with Toby, and I've got to tiptoe my way around Roxy because she wanted this, and I want to try and help her. Like, Roxy just made things so much harder.
Yeah.
So I just think what should have happened is she shouldn't have erased her memories, and they all should have actually talked about, like, properly, one of us needs to remember and being honest. Like,
Well,
I don't
if
know.
Al told Juan, well, at this point, they're probably not going to risk another memory charm. But if Al told Juan might be like, fine, then I can get it out of my memory so that, you know, maybe it's safer
Yeah.
just kept locked up somewhere. But
I think
anyways,
he would
I
have
was
been
just
like,
curious.
that's, yeah, I think Juan would have been like, no, that's cool, you keep yours. And then I got mine. Don't tell Roxy, which is kind of what happened anyway. But
Yeah.
kind of.